Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Okay, got a few pieces up for today. First off, we had a new Andor TV spot that had some more Luthen Rail Dialogue. The new spot dropped in new dialogue. It's great. Stellan Skarsgård's Luthen Rail really was highlighted throughout the whole clip. The best part, of course, is when he is talking to Saw. That's the part that sticks with you. He says to Saw, we need to pull together. And Saw asks him, at what cost? And Luthen replies, everything!
There might be clever editing there, but yeah.
But I want to know what Luthen's stakes are,
Yeah,
We see him at the beginning kind of cajoling a little bit, looking happy with that lady and talking to Mon Mothma. What changes for him?
I am going to guess. My guess for him is he's some sort of businessman who's he had it good in the days of the Republic, and since then the Empire's kind of taking more and more of his, maybe trying to control his business or somehow,
Or shutting him down or
something along those lines. I don't think he's going to be like a senator. I think it's going to be like personal stakes for him. Mm-hmm. And, he's going to kind of be because I think that's what we're going to see in this. I think we're going to see a lot of, morally gray type character, that term. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to be like just for the cause. I think he's for himself. And by default, in a way, he will help form the Rebel Alliance. That's a guess. I could be dead wrong.
What I find interesting is that we see him talking to Saw, Mon Mothma, and Cassian. Is he going to be the glue that brings these groups together, these people together?
Potentially. I mean, it seemed to be... Rogue One implies that there were these, the cells until Battle of Scarif, essentially. And then, of course, like the day or two later, we have, the Battle of Yavin. Mm-hmm. So it seems like before then, it was kind of just... we kind of work together, but we're not under the same umbrella, if you will.
Absolutely.
So I think he kind of helps bring the groups together, but I don't think he's like that. He's the final key. I think that is Rogue One. That's
Absolutely,
that's the moment. But I think he's going to be help facilitating getting to that point.
Well, he's also going to be what's bringing our characters together is more what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the glue in the show. I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the one who's going to bring... he's bringing Andor into the fold, most likely through hiring him to do some dirty work for him. He's out there talking to Saw. He's talking to Mon. He might just be the person who is the glue into the story, bringing our different characters together, which might be interesting.
I think you're right about that.
There's also like another shot of that one character who's in the background. One of the people from the AK forest dwellers.
Okay, that's what we're calling him. But speaking of, to go a bit off topic for just one moment, do you think we will eventually see the Ghost Crew in this? I mean, we've heard no fan service in Andor, but bringing them in wouldn't be fan service considering they are tied to Saw, they are tied to Mon Mothma, they are tied to the Rebellion. They're essentially another, small cell doing their part. I almost think
similarly to Rogue One, you could see them in the background.
You see like Chopper roll in, or then you hear like General Syndulla, like please, something like that, not actual appearance.
Well, because as far as we know...
the thing is, we have live action.
Just recently got announced for her casting. I don't know if they popped a couple of them over to go, hey, we're going to have you walk through this scene. Or
we know Ahsoka. I'm not saying even in this season. I doubt it would be in this season.
The filming for this show was done ages ago, though.
Yeah, but you now, in theory, have all these live action actors for the Ghost Crew. And granted, that's like 10 years in the future or something like that. But you could still... I know their de-aging technology is fantastic.
Hera worked in a Splinter Cell before the other ones.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. Hera seems to be, she seems to be in contact with Ahsoka, so just a curious thought.
The Ghost Crew kind of started out with just her and Kanan, so I almost wouldn't be surprised if maybe you just see just the two of them.
Maybe. I'm just curious.
Who knows?
I just think it makes sense. It's not like fan service to include somebody who, or a group that was a kind of a big part of it.
Well, then let's move on to our next piece today. Genevieve O'Reilly talks playing Mon Mothma in Andor and admits she actually still rewatches the original actress's performance.
Well, that's good.
She did an interview with Entertainment Weekly and revealed that she goes back and she watched Caroline Blakiston's performance as Mon Mothma after she landed her role in Revenge of the Sith.
Makes sense.
That she studied the original performance, hearing that Bothan line over and over again.
Many Bothans died.
So, and she returned the role in Rogue One, and even when she voiced the role, she went back and she looked at the old footage to get that feel, to get, how is it supposed to be. What she actually goes on to say I was always interested in her, and each time I go to play her, I go back to that scene. You can see when Caroline does that in the scene for me, that there was a lot of pain at the heart of it. You could see she was carrying a pain, and I was really curious about what that was. What has happened in this woman's life? What has it cost to be her? What are the sacrifices she's made along the way to be that leader of the rebellion?
No, I agree with her. I mean, when you go back and look at, even though it's, a 2-minute scene essentially with her in it, there is this somberness to her, isn't there? There's this sadness, yeah.
Yeah.
She's not, she's doing this because, there's no other choice but to fight and to sacrifice. I mean, she talks about how many Bothans died to, bring us this information. There's sadness in that. There's regret. There's probably a lot of stories about not just Bothans who died, but many others along the way that have been lost.
She comes from such a
peaceful world, yeah. Just we don't know that at the time, but
right. So I do wonder if we're going to start seeing some of these hard choices or these hard things that are going to drive her.
Well, that's what they've kind of promised, that we're going to, it's going to, and I sometimes hate when they say this, it's going to change your perception of this and that. But I think what they mean by that is we're going to see that the rebellion is not so squeaky clean. Mm-hmm. And we've already seen a taste of that. And, I mean, that makes sense. Like, I like the idea that Star Wars is good guys, bad guys, right? But if we're being real about it, there is no, I mean, other than the Jedi and the Sith being the two extremes, everybody in the middle there is, they got to do what they got to do sometimes. It's not, I've said before, good has that dilemma of how far do you go for your cause before you're no longer the good guys, right? And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see those tough choices between, what is morally right and what is needed to be done.
All right, and then let's share one last quote from her. We really get to develop her as a character, and we get to learn about her not just as a senator, but as a woman. We learn what her life is like, what she has to wrestle with. What are the dangers to her life? What it costs to be her? Tony's writing is so intricate and so taut. It lives in a world of the spy genre, of a socio-political drama, and yet it's set within a Star Wars world. So it feels universal and intimate all at once. We see her talking to senators, and then we meet her at her home with her husband. We see the public and the private. We see her literally and figuratively take off her cloak and reveal herself as a woman in a way we've never seen before. Does that mean she gets naked? No,
I don't think so. I think that's the one thing.
But it's nice that we're going to get to see another bare bones instance of a character like we did with Padme.
Was that a ton?
We saw Padme the senator, but we did also get to know Padme. We also got to know Padme the person. We got to see her when she was alone with Anakin, and what her thoughts and feelings really were. And it's nice to see a character this way, not just as the political figurehead, but what are they? Who are they? What makes them tick?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll move on to our final piece today. We've got a collecting news.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. We're finally seeing some action figures for Andor.
And by seeing, we mean you can pre-order them in the near future. Not that you'll be seeing them in your hands or in your collection.
I don't know what near future.
The future.
The Hasbro Star Wars Black Series line has finally showed us some figures. First up, we have 2 Walmart exclusives.
Oh, yes. I love Walmart exclusives.
Cassian Andor, Aldhani Mission, and Imperial Officer Dark Times.
That's what they should have called the show, but all right.
Will be available for pre-order at Walmart on Thursday, October 6th at 11 a.m. Central, $27.99 each.
Whew.
October 6th. We're not going to pre-order those many times
$27.99. Remember when they were like...
That's the new standard, I think.
Oh, my God. I like that it's just like a while ago, like, yeah, we're going to have to raise the prices, and it was like $22.99, and people kind of flinched, and now they're like, yeah, we meant $27.99.
I'm very interested in the Imperial Officer, Dark Times. I read he comes with 1 accessory, which they say instead of saying he comes with a gun.
They can't say that. Yeah, that's bad.
But I'm going to put these pictures are probably up there now. The cloak has 2 very distinctive looks. He's got kind of a regular slick down look, and then he's got like this throwback look. And even the back of it is scalloped, differently for each look. So I'm very curious. Does it actually come with maybe another accessory, a separate cloak piece? Because this doesn't look like soft.
It looks like it just kind of like will have like a wing kind of joint where you can kind of, flay them out, if you will.
It just doesn't look like that to me.
It doesn't, but there's no way. Come on, it costs an extra 10 cents to put another piece of plastic in there. And they're only charging $27.99. How are they supposed to make a profit on this thing?
I don't know. Cassian, it looks like a lot of reuse from the Miggs Mayfield figure.
Shocking, yeah.
I mean,
You know Hasbro
They
jumps
colored it a
for
little
joy whenever they
different.
see like a trooper with another different head on it or something. Like, oh, we can reuse, yes.
that's why we haven't seen a Mon Mothma yet, because they're like, dang, we'd have to make new
I
stuff.
know they have to make 2 Mon Mothma. We need a
Oof.
Return of the Jedi Mon Mothma, and now we're gonna. And you know
Which
she's gonna
dress
be.
is she gonna be put
I
in?
was just
I
gonna
know.
say, you know she's gonna be a Padme, and she's gonna be in multiple different outfits
Because she's a senator.
because she's a senator. I wouldn't imply anything else.
They have a very strict social regimen, senators,
Yeah.
so...
I wasn't implying anything else.
Also, if you've noticed, the boxes have plastic windows.
For now, some of the other ones I've seen do not have. The other gaming greats, which you might be
It's
mentioning,
just weird.
do not. They
I
have the.
don't think I'm mentioning whatever you're talking about.
Oh, there's a battle droid and something else, rocket trooper. Gaming greats coming.
moving
Look
on.
at you.
We're
Look at that
talking about-
news from Thor.
No, because we're talking about Andor figures.
Oh, but there are 2 gaming greats coming.
Andor figures. We also have 2 figures announced that are Target exclusives.
Yes.
Shore Trooper and Imperial Officer Ferrix. So we've got Imperial Officer Dark Times and Imperial Officer Ferrix. They're both going to be available for pre-order at Target Friday, September 23rd,
Why 2
10
different
a.m.
dates?
Central, $27.99 price again.
Another cheap, happy pre-order.
Yeah. But yeah, their dates are very different. October 6th and September 23rd.
Maybe Walmart knows it's going to have trouble getting that pre-order
Walmart
up on time,
never
so
gets
they're
them up
they're
on
giving
time.
themselves a buffer window there.
Alright, the Shore Trooper. I almost called him a re-release, but somehow it isn't. They're up there now for a
Somehow.
side-by-side comparison.
There's like
Thor
a
and I,
stripe of paint.
side-by-side comparison. Yeah.
Yeah.
The differences are the gun holster, the accessory, an accessory holster.
Not the gun. We don't say gun. That's
The
bad.
white chest stripe, the shoulder insignia, and a little piece there on the belt. Otherwise, it's just another Shore Trooper.
Yes.
But we needed to make him different, so you had to buy
A
him.
little different paint. Maybe that signifies what planet they are stationed on. Like Scarif has slightly different markings to indicate they are
the
a
markings are
Scarif
so
shore
similar,
trooper.
though.
Yeah.
She's got like a line. That line means I'm from a different planet.
Hey, I'm trying here, all right?
No. The Imperial Officer is a lot of reuse from the Han Mud Trooper, and a little Miggs Mayfield splashed in.
Little Migs, a little Han. That's a good
A
character
lot of-
right
a
there.
lot of Han.
Han meets Migs.
It's a
I
lot of
think.
Han
Yeah.
from the Mud Trooper. Well, so we got some new characters, I guess, ish. A lot of reuse. But where's Mon? And
Hey.
Luthen?
They've got to be, both of those have to be coming. I
Hopefully
would
we'll get
imagine
news
we
on
have
it soon.
40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi coming next year, and the special packaging and all that, which they're going to do. Maybe that's a good time for a Mon Mothma on the
No,
the
that's when they'll
vintage style
reuse
card
the
back.
Andor Mon Mothma that they're going to make.
Yeah, they'll just put yes. What was I thinking?
What were you thinking?
I don't know. Extra sculpting? Come on.
You know what I'm thinking? Time to wrap this up.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. And let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.